Good morning, everyone. It is exactly 10:02, but we still have quite a few people that's coming in. We can get started, but we want to allow those individuals to come in so that they can be a part of the process. So give us about maybe 5 more minutes to allow the people that's signing in to come on in. Thank you. Good morning, Democrats. Good morning. Y'all, I think we're going to have a damn good time today. Look at all these Democrats in this room. We are super excited. We are super excited. When we saw that list coming in with all the names of people that had registered for the county party, we were ecstatic, y'all. This is, we haven't had this amount in a long, long time. And I know there are probably some circumstances that caused us to come on out, but the point of the matter is that we are here, and I'm glad. And so let's get ready for a damn good time. We are going to officially call the county convention to order at 10:15. And at this moment, what we're going to have, everyone should have an agenda on your table. If you don't, raise your hand, and we can get you one. There are also some note cards that's on the table, so if you have any questions, concerns throughout the whole process, please, that's your opportunity to write it down and hold it up so that somebody from the executive team can get it. If the executive team, if y'all will please stand so that y'all can be recognized so that the people, IBM, can see who to give it to. You have Dr. Holder, you have Ryan, the second vice chair, you have Amber, the third vice chair, you have Diane, our treasurer, Darlene, the executive committee woman. I think she's still outside signing people in. But we also have some wonderful volunteers. Melissa Rouse, Jada Rouse, they're helping with the volunteer table. We have Eileen Magic in the back, and we have Ms. Vera Hammond in the back as well. So if you need any help, reach out to one of these individuals, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Also at this time, we're going to have a moment of reflection, and we're going to take a moment to pause, and especially we're going to remember our wonderful Congressman John Spratt. And there are other notable Democrats from York County that have passed on who gave a lot and offered a lot to this party. And so we just want to take a moment to just have a moment of remembrance for them. Thank you. And now at this time, we're going to have our Pledge of Allegiance by none other than Mr. Aiden Bowen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Aiden is our helper in the office. Anytime we're in the office doing anything, he loves to help us. Raising up another Democrat to help us in this fight. So now we will have announcements and introduction of our elected officials that are here. And are there any elected officials here? I know we see our very own Representative John King. Are you able to come forward, please? Is School Board Trustee Jennifer Hutchison here? Are there any other elected officials from around York County present today? All right, Representative King.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman. It is a good day in York County. Look up here. Y'all have to understand, I don't get to see this many Democrats. You know, this week has been budget week for us at the Capitol, and we were able to, with one of our Democrat colleagues and chair of the Legislative Black Caucus, Representative Annie E. McDaniel from Chester. She represents Chester, Fairfield, and Richland County. She actually stopped DEI from being in our state budget this year. So I'm proud that she is my desk mate, but I want to say, let me start off by saying thank you, York County, for allowing me to be your representative for the last 17 years. And it is a different day in Columbia. The assault that we have on everything that we have worked for is present. And you would think that the politics of DC would not hit South Carolina General Assembly, but it's there. And we are fighting each day, even though our numbers are not the same as what it was when I was first elected. So I'm not going to take up a lot of time because I know that we do have a service, a memorial service of one of our very own, Jeffrey Sly, who passed away. I am on Judiciary. I'm the ranking member on Judiciary. I'm the longest serving member. I also serve on Ethics. Family Law is my subcommittee, and I serve on College Boards and Trustees. College Boards and Trustees, we screen out any persons in South Carolina who would like to be a board member, even if they want to be on the board over at Winthrop. I'm a former chair of the South Carolina Legislative Black Caucus, and I am one of the minority whips, former minority whips for the Democratic Caucus. I want to say whatever I can do to support the Democratic Party in York County, I am here to support you all. And I want you all to know that you can reach me. I am the only Democrat elected House member in York County. So while I represent District 49, I represent all of you. I'm your voice in Columbia. I am so pleased to see the number of people here today. We are in a different type of environment. And as long as I've been serving, and please don't take this the wrong way, I've never seen this many Democrats come out for a Democratic convention in York County. That is a good sign. I think the tides are changing. I think it is a sign that Ralph Norman needs to be brought back home. Because we are able to elect a Democrat in Congressional 5, and I believe that. And so hopefully this is a sign that York County is changing and that we're going to be the voice of change for Congressional 5. Let me end by saying thank you, Chairwoman, and the committee for holding it down for us and making sure that Democrats are heard here in York County. I represent you all, not just House District 49. I know that I'm the only voice that you all have down there. I will continue to fight to make sure that women can decide what they want to do with their bodies. I will continue to fight to make sure that the history of this state, as well as the history of this country, is not destroyed, and it will be caught. I will work to make sure, if I can, with my colleagues down there, to continue to keep DEI from being the topic of the day here in South Carolina. So thank you all. Thank you so very much, and I look forward to working with whoever is elected today as our party chair and all the members who would serve us as our leaders in this county. So thank you so very much for your service, Council. Last thing, on March the 20th, for those that can attend, I am having a town hall meeting at Clinton College at 6 p.m. and there will be state agencies that will be there that will be able to assist you with some of your concerns. We may not have them all, but there will be enough there that if you have some questions, hopefully they can answer those for you. If you come to the town hall meeting and we miss an agency that you are interested in, let us know, and at the next town hall meeting, we'll try to make sure that they're present. Thank you.
we want to go ahead and recognize our volunteers. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. We've already seen them, but thank you guys for stepping in and helping to make this convention a success today. So please keep your pens handy because you're going to need to be taking out a lot of notes, and let's get ready. I know that this is a lot of people's first time coming. And if you have questions, please pull on one of those individuals that we already acknowledged so that they can answer your questions for you. I will also be walking around because we have to actually turn it over to our county convention chairperson. And so with that being said, we do have a special guest that's coming, and he actually just walked through the door. If y'all didn't know, I was trying to give him some time to get in. So we have with us the state party executive director. His name is Jay Parmley. This is where we get our direction from. This is where we get information from what's going on at the state party, what's going on at the state house, and they tell us what information to disseminate to our respectable areas. I've been working with Jay for quite some time, probably about 6 or more years. He is a wealth of knowledge. He knows everything and how to get things done. So with that being said, I will introduce Jay Parmley to everyone, our executive director for the state party.
Oh, hey. Good morning, York County Democrats. How are you? What a great crowd. What a great crowd. We are seeing, actually we're seeing great crowds all across the state because people are pissed off. And we have a right to be. But I want to ask you this morning to join everyone here and people all across this state. And I want to ask us to take this anxiety that we feel every single day. It's real. And I think, first of all, I think that's what we have to admit to. We have to understand that the way we are feeling every morning when we get up and watch the news or pull up this phone and see tweets and social media postings, that we can barely get through it. Because we're just filled with either anxiety or some kind of real depression is real, or pissed offness or whatever it may be. But it's real. But our challenge is to turn that anxiety into action. And y'all, we live in a state that in most of our 46 counties, we've got a lot of Democratic counties, but we have a lot of counties that aren't Democratic. We have a lot of counties that used to be Democratic. Particularly most of our border counties to other states, which are interesting to our border counties, which in a lot of places are border counties, the Democratic counties in those other states have become Republican counties over the last 20 years in South Carolina. And instead of being sort of upset about that, it's like, how do we take this moment and use it to change our state for the better in 2026? Now, I know we have 2025. We're in 2025. We have a lot of municipal elections across the state. We've got 2 special elections going on right now across the state. One in Dorchester County where we can actually flip a Republican county council seat to Democratic. And we have a special election. Well, you can clap for that. We got a chance. It's in 2 weeks. And then we have a special election. I see John King over there. Hello, John. We're trying to give, we have a Democratic House seat, House District 50 in Lee County and Sumter County. where our House member resigned, and it's a very Democratic county, but guess what? The Republicans have put up a candidate, and we have a real special election that'll be the early summer in Lee County, and we can't lose that seat. But let me tell you, we lost the Senate seat that covers that county. You all part of you in York County understand that from the Senate elections. But I really want to ask you to let's channel our energy. Protesting, fantastic. Showing up at Ralph Norman's office and giving him hell, I'm all for it. Giving Lindsey Graham hell, I'm all for it. And let me tell you something now. We have people running. We're going to have a great candidate against Lindsey Graham. I promise you that. I promise you. Just hold on. There may be a couple or three in this race, but we're going to have a great candidate. It's fine to give Tim Scott hell every day. That's fine. I'm all for that. But let's not forget that we have friends and we have neighbors in this county, whether you live in Rock Hill or in the rural part of the county, I don't care. You have friends and you have neighbors who, believe it or not, didn't vote in 2024. We have friends and we have neighbors who bought for whatever reason. They didn't vote for us as Democrats in 2024. And we have to spend our time over the next year and a half talking, and I'm not talking about talking at people. Actually, I'd prefer us to spend our time listening. Actually talking to our friends and neighbors about, why did you not vote? So let me give you one little number. Jamie Harrison in 2020 got the most votes ever cast for a Democratic candidate in the state of South Carolina, believe it or not. 2020. And we lost that race, right? We lost. But he got the most votes ever cast. If we simply turned out those same number of votes, that was a presidential year, if we simply turned out those same number of people in 2026, a midterm election, not only would we defeat Lindsey Graham in a midterm election, we would elect a Democratic governor, and actually we would elect every statewide elected official in the state if we turned out those million people. Because here's what happens. In 2026, in midterm elections, our vote drops off. So does the Republicans. But in 2026, there will not be Donald Trump's name on the ballot. Oh yeah, it's going to be about Donald Trump in 2026, but it's going to be a bunch of ticked off people who show up to the polls. But we don't want them to just be mad to show up. We want to have had a conversation with people. We want to get them to not understand. That sounds like we're preaching to them. We want to have a conversation with voters about what makes them tick. Why did they not participate in the 2024 election? What made them vote for Republicans in 2024, but yet they voted for Democrats before? There's a whole bunch of answers to that. But you can gather together like we're doing today and all across the state, and we've been doing since March the 1st in these county conventions, getting a bunch of Democrats together. But if we just get together and go through the motions of electing our county party leadership and listening to our great elected officials, and we leave this room feeling a little bit better about ourselves because we are in a room with a couple hundred Democrats, that's nice. But the most important piece is what do you do tomorrow? And what do we do next week? And what do we do next month? We have to keep showing up, and we have to take this anxiety and turn it into real action. And that's all I'm asking you today. We have hundreds of people, which become thousands of people. And if you will make the phone calls and will knock on the doors and send those postcards. Hattie Ross, I know you all have done a lot of postcards. I know you all have made a lot of phone calls. I know you've knocked on these doors in this county. I'm not saying you haven't done it. You've done it. But we have this golden opportunity now, and people are talking. I don't know if you hear it. I go to the grocery store. They don't know who I am. I just stand in line and listen to people. I don't know if you do. I mean, I happen to go to a church that's pretty progressive in Columbia, but I can't make it into the sanctuary without people stopping me. Now they know what I do at church, so they don't want to talk. But if you just listen to people around you, they're talking about politics. Now, you may not think about it in terms of Democratic versus Republican, but they're talking about their family members who are federal employees who no longer have a job. They're talking about, oh gosh, I don't know if I can take my vacation this summer because this national park may not be open. Oh gosh, my 401k has just, well, bad, right, in the last 6 weeks. They may not say we hate Donald Trump. They don't have to. But they might be talking about things that are going on right now. They might be talking about, well, why did the Democrats do this in the House or do this in the United States Senate? We don't have all the answers for that, but they might be talking about it. They might be talking about what they heard Nancy Mace or Ralph Norman say on television, or what they heard some other member of Congress say that's not from here. Use it. Just listen. And that's what I'm asking us to do on a very targeted way. We know where people live. We know a little bit about them. I just hope that we will spend this time focusing our energy in the way that your talent best suits. If it's to hold up that sign and give Ralph Norman hell, do it. And y'all saw he's saying he might run for governor. There's, just in case you don't know, on the Republican side, Alan Wilson, who's Attorney General, is going to run for governor. Nancy Mace, and our current Lieutenant Governor. And by the way, I saw a poll this week that she's leading on the Republican side. I'd like to know, how many people, just raise your hand if you know the name of our Lieutenant Governor. She's a Republican. Okay, it's about what I thought. Pamela Everett is Lieutenant Governor, never held any elected office in her life before Henry McMaster plucked her out of obscurity. And she's running. And now Ralph Norman says he's considering it too. Well, that's fine, let them all run. But my point is that people are interested right now. They may not know why. They might be pissed off. They might just be interested. They might be reading. They might be seeing something on social media. So it gives us this opportunity to have these conversations. And we've got a year and a half before the almost, a little more than that, but a year and a half before the 2026 elections. So we have the runway. We have the time if we're willing to do the work. South Carolina is one of the 6 fastest growing states in the country. And let me tell you another stark reality. We're becoming less and less diverse. Now, we still have a significant black population in this state. We have a growing Hispanic population, but it is still small as a total percentage of the state's population. Horry County, one of the fastest growing counties, Greenville County, y'all here, Beaufort County, all of our border counties are doing just blowing up. People are coming here. They're not necessarily, they're not all Democrats, they're not all Republicans. We just have the influx of new voters to our state is astounding every single day. So it's not just about talking to the people who have been here for a long time. We have so many new friends and foes who are moving to this state that if we simply spent every day trying to communicate with new residents, it would literally take all of our time. I'm not exaggerating. Thousands. And let me tell you, it's changing the complexion, both demographically and socioeconomically, of many of our counties. Whether you're in Jasper County, which you're like, Jay, why are you talking about Jasper County? You're in York County. Jasper County is just above Beaufort County. It's on the Georgia border. We lost every single Democratic elected official. Jasper County used to be a solid majority black county. All of our elected officials were Democrats, and we've lost every single one of them in the span of 2 cycles. And it's because the county doesn't even look like it used to because of the jobs that have come into that county. And guess what? No fault of the Jasper County Democratic Party. They've worked hard, but we have not even begun to communicate to the people who have moved into that county. I say this because there's so much to do, but you can do it. And there is enormous, there's hope. You know, we still can put up a statewide Democrat and get in the early to mid 40s without a whole lot of effort. That's not enough to win, but think about if we put in the effort. If we spend the next year and a half talking to voters, we can win statewide in this political environment. We can change our state house, and our state senate won't be up in 2 years or in 2026, but we can change the composition of our state house and our statewide elected officials. But we're going to have to spend a lot of time and effort to do it. So I thank you for being here today. And I thank you for the work you've done in this county and supporting good candidates. And I just ask you to stay in this fight. And I ask you, no matter how you're feeling, to channel that energy. Because, and I know John talked for me, and I'll shut up and get out of here, but here's the deal. It's not just what's going on in Washington. Our state senate has done absolutely nothing. They've spent the last 3 weeks debating tort reform. And the reason they haven't passed it is because the Republicans, they can pass anything they want. The Republicans have a supermajority. The Republicans can't agree on it. They have spent 3 weeks talking about whether they're going to let insurance companies have more money. They have tied everything up. Not one other bill has been heard in the state senate. Now, that's a win in my mind, because that's 3 weeks where they've not passed a thing that hurts us, right? But we are 9 weeks into this legislative session. The House did the budget last week. The Senate's done nothing. The House, there's a complete total abortion ban bill. The House tackled, there was a DEI bill that your Democrats actually stopped in the House. Well, there's a school voucher bill. I mean, this is all the stuff they're spending their time doing. The only way we fix it is we have to change the composition of the House and the Senate, and that means we have to do the work to do it. So instead of getting mad every day, well, I'm going to get mad at what they're doing, I'm like, how can I channel that into changing the composition of the House and Senate, even when the odds seem long? But y'all, who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it? And who else is going to run? Y'all, we said if everybody sits in this room and thinks, well, I don't want to run, someone else should run for office. Okay? If we're not willing to do it, and I'm not saying y'all should jump up and run for office. I mean, go for it if you want to. But think about it. We asked a lot of our candidates, and we asked a lot. But if we're not willing to run, and if we're not willing to do the work, we're never going to change the composition of our statewide elected officials and our legislature. So, I hope you leave here today and you think about what is it I can do to put into action these efforts to help South Carolina change our state for the better in 2025 and 2026. Because you can do it. We can do it together. And how you get all this information? Your county party has it all. I mean, they got it. We're moving more stuff out, but it's here. You don't have to worry about who to talk to. They'll tell you who to talk to. Just do it. Join us. It's real. We can do these things together if we'll spend the time, effort, and energy doing it. So, thanks for getting up early on a Saturday morning and helping your county party. Because who we're really helping is ourselves and our friends and our neighbors, not only in this county, but all across the state. Thank you, Nikita. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. And you all, I saw Nikita last night in Columbia, and you got home before I did, I'm sure. But I appreciate so much the work that you all do here. Thanks.
Now, Jay, there's so many, I think there are about 3 or 4 county conventions that's going on today, so he decided to come and spend his time with us. He thought it was worthy enough for York County to have his insightful information, to let y'all see who he is, know that he is there, and know that we can always depend and count on Jay for whatever York County needs.
I'll be here for a few minutes before I head to another one.
Okay. So please, let's take heed to what Jay is saying, and we're going to get an opportunity to get together, to talk, to decide what we need to do as a party, and we're going to even break it down to the precincts, because we're going to get the precinct organized today. So before I step and go any further, this is the time in the agenda for us to elect convention officers. So whenever you have your convention, the executive board does not run the state convention. That's when you elect someone to be the convention chair, convention secretary, and the convention treasurer. So at this time, I will make a nomination to have Dr. John Holder to be the convention chair.
Second.
It has been seconded that John Holder is the chair for the York County County Convention. Any questions? Any nominations from the floor? None. So we will take a vote on it. All those in favor for having John Holder as the convention chair, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed is nay. So therefore, Dr. John Holder, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can make a motion or to have the secretary and the treasurer for the county convention.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was a hard-fought battle, but I appreciate your support. The next item is the election of the convention secretary, and the floor is open for nominations.
I nominate Monica White.
Monica White has been nominated. Is there a second? There are multiple seconds. Are there further nominations? Hearing none, those in favor of electing Monica White as convention secretary say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. And congratulations, Monica White, on your election as convention secretary. Next up is the convention treasurer.
I nominate Diane Ingersoll.
Diane Ingersoll has been nominated. Is there a second? There is a second. Are there further nominations? Hearing none, those in favor of electing Diane Ingersoll as convention treasurer signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Congratulations, Diane Ingersoll, on your election as convention treasurer. I've shared a lot of these. It's always reassuring to find out that there are Democrats in York County that I don't know. This is the biggest convention we've had in a while. I mean, a lot of people are, as Jay told you and Representative King told you, people are angry. And some of you are here this morning. Raise your hand if this is your first county convention. Oh, thank you very much. Awesome. I do, as Chairwoman Jackson pointed out, we have refreshments over there, water, coffee, the snack table is in the back. Popcorn, peanuts, there are nuts at the far end. Speaking of nuts at the far end, the County Republican Convention is also this morning. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm a political science professor at Winthrop. I try very hard to be neutral and impartial in the classroom, but here I don't have to. Okay, next up is the election of party officers. We will elect a chair, first vice chair, second vice chair, third vice chair, 2 members of the state executive committee, and 2 alternate members of the state executive committee. The chair is the central figure in the County Democratic Party. This person must have considerable organizational skills and be respected by party members. The chair calls and presides at meetings of the County Executive Committee. He or she is responsible for arrangements for party primaries, the county convention, and the election of all Democratic candidates who run in the county. The chair is also responsible for communicating information from the state party to the county party officers and membership. We did have a filing period. We had a 2-week period where people were able to submit names as candidates. We had 3 candidates file for chair. Matt Villardemo has withdrawn. So we have 2 remaining candidates. Is Constance Funberg here? Ms. Funberg is a candidate for county chair, and our incumbent chairwoman, Nikita Jackson, is a candidate. I'm going to give each of you 1 minute to introduce yourselves and make your case. Alphabetical order, Ms. Funderburg.
Good morning. My name is Constance Funderburg. Thank you for coming here today. It's my first time attending this event. I am thoroughly engaged in the process of what's happening in our community. I'm a resident of Ycdp, and I've been there for about 7 years now, and I've just seen how impactful this situation is in our community, and I want to be involved, and I think that I can bring some energy to this situation to help improve it and get people engaged, and I think that's the most important thing. So.
Thank you. And Ms. Nikita Jackson.
Thank you guys for allowing me to serve York County Democratic for a little over a year and a half. I've truly enjoyed it. Since I've been the chair of the York County Democratic Party, we successfully supported efforts for the First in the South event with the MLK Parade in York, the Western York County MLK Parade. We had second gentleman Doug Emhoff to come in February prior to the primaries. We have successfully helped candidates with the campaign. We've successfully, and I say we because everything that has been done thus far, I did not. If I stood up here and say I did it by myself, I would be lying. I did not do it by myself. It was a team that worked with me to support us in the efforts of getting information out. We successfully had Representative Hakeem Jeffers and Congressman Clyburn to come down during the MLK event. We have successfully had the York County Democratic Party open every day since July the 21st, open Monday through Friday during the election. And not only that, the head party is still open to this day, and it's open on Wednesdays and Fridays for anyone to come in and get this support. So I would love to have your vote today. Thank you.
Okay, because we had a filing period, we are not taking nominations from the floor. The only eligible candidates are those who filed. We'll go in alphabetical order. If you want to vote for Constance Funderburk, please raise your hand. If you want to vote for Nikita Jackson, please raise your hand. I don't think we need to do a hand count. Congratulations, Chairwoman Nikita Jackson. Now, there was some confusion at last year's convention about who's eligible to run for officers. We are the party of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we still are. So we have national party rules, state party rules that govern our eligibility, and the first vice chair must be of a different gender than the chair. This person assumes the role of the chair when the chair is unavailable. The second vice chair must be a different race than the chair. The third vice chair must be under 36 years of age. Each vice chair will perform duties as directed by the chair. So we just elected a chairwoman, so we need to elect a first vice chair man. The only qualifying candidate who filed is Ryan Stevens.
Good morning, York County Democrats. How is everyone? Are we fired up? We excited? We're going to fight back. We're going to organize. We're going to mobilize, and we're going to engage York County for the next 2 years as our board term goes. We have the municipal election is coming up. This year, every municipality in York County is up for election. And these are where we can win as Democrats, even though they are nonpartisan. We also are planning for the 2026 election, the midterms. We have a state house, state senate, the governor. Who wants to run against Ralph Norman? So we need your support. We also need your money. So if you have extra change in your couch that you don't need, donate it to your local candidates and your local party, because that's where change happens, is at our local level. So please, I thank you for your support over the past year, and I look forward to working with you all this next 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Now you see why he's unopposed. So this will be a formality. Those in favor of electing Ryan Stevens as first vice chair, raise your hands. Any opposed, raise your hands. I think it's just about unanimous. Ryan, congratulations. Second vice chair must be a different race from the chair. We elected an African-American chair, so we need a non-African-American second vice chair. And the only qualifying candidate who filed is Hope Matthews.
So first of all, I want to thank whoever made the bracelets for today for including my name. When I ran for city council, it was Hope for City Council, and so now I hope to be Hope for the York County Democratic Party. Just a little bit about me. I grew up in Nebraska in a household divided. My dad was a Republican small business owner, and my mom was somebody who marched in civil rights activism while she was pregnant with me. I can tell you which side of the fence I ended up on because I'm here today. But I do remember a day when we could dialogue and connect and talk with members of the other party. When I moved to York County 20-some years ago, we talked about being Democrat like it was a disease. Are you a Democrat? of done with that, frankly, and because of all the new faces here, I know a lot of people are also done with that. Thank you. I look forward to serving with this committee.
So, again, there being only one qualifying candidate, this is a formality. Those in favor of electing Hope Matthews as second vice chair, raise your hands. Those opposed? I believe that is unanimous. Hope Matthews, congratulations on your election. The third vice chair must be under the age of 36. Ms. Sutterberg, I have to ask you, you filed for this? Yeah, okay. In that case, there is only one qualifying candidate who filed, Aquarius Norman.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aquarius Norman, and I'm running to be your third vice chair. It looks like I'm the only person. A little bit about me is I'm a social studies teacher. This is my first year teaching in school. I just recently graduated from Ycdp University. I received Thank you. I received both my master's and bachelor's degree from Ycdp University, so I kind of am very familiar with the young vote. When I was leaving Ycdp University, the Ycdp University chapter of Democrats has just come back online, so I was really excited about that. And hopefully we're able to kind of plug in with them this year and to kind of really get out the vote for younger voters. But yeah, I look forward to hopefully serving with this one.
Once again, this is a formality. Those in favor of electing Aquarius Norman as third vice chair, raise your hands. Those opposed? Congratulations. I think that's unanimous. And we elect two members of the State Executive Committee. The County Executive Committee person is the liaison between the county and the State Democratic Party and represents the county party on the State Democratic Executive Committee. The committee person transmits the thoughts of the county party on matters concerning the county and state parties. The State Executive Committee adopts the procedures and policies of the South Carolina Democratic Party and sees that its directions are followed. So due to the gender requirement, we have the two executive committee members must be of different genders. I'm the only male candidate who filed. If somebody could time me for 1 minute, it's not going to take that long. Thank you. I've been executive committeeman for 7 years. I currently serve on the executive council of the State Democratic Party, which is the subcommittee that deals with finances. I'm on the committee on caucus organization operations and bylaws, and I'm deputy secretary of the state party. So that's what I do in Columbia. I would appreciate your support as I seek to continue.
Now at this time, we'll take a vote. Didn't think it was worthy for him to ask for the vote. So, those who are in favor of voting for Dr. John Holder as the executive committee man, please raise your hand. Any opposes? Dr. Holder, executive committee.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, I could have just said there's no election, I'm staying in office, but I don't want to give Trump any ideas. We have traditionally had two alternate executive committee people. No male candidate filed to be alternate. Hey, Jay, do the alternates have to be different genders? Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. So we will take nominations from the floor. I will tell you that the job involves meeting in Columbia about 4 times a year. And it's usually on a Saturday. We discuss what's going on with the party. We network with each other. We hear from the chair and the other officers about what's going on. And the way the vote works, each county, regardless of population, has 1 vote. So we may have up to 4 people representing us at the meeting, but there's only one vote. The alternate only votes if both of the executive committee members are absent. That sounds complicated. It is, but I just want to make a sales pitch, and I will now open the floor for nominations for a male alternate member of the executive committee. Amy Hayes. Bo Van Aller has been nominated. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. Are there further nominations?
Move that the nominations be closed.
Let me, I'll let him speak for a minute.
My name is Bo Van Aller, and I'm just, running for this. I am going for IT at York Tech, and I've worked the elections. I worked with York County. I have many years of experience in elections and everything like that. And just if you want to vote for me, you can.
That's the coolest campaign slogan I've ever heard. Representative King? Representative King moves that nominations be closed. Those in favor of electing Bo Van Aller as the alternate executive committeeman signify or raise your hands. Those opposed, congratulations, Bo. Welcome to the position. We will now proceed to the election of the executive committee woman. We have 3 candidates, Amber Pearson Bowen, Constance Funderburk, and Darylene Mansfield. And we're going to go in alphabetical order. You each get a minute, starting with Amber Pearson Bowen.
Good morning, York County. We're going to try that again. Good morning, York County. All right, how are you doing today? My name is Amber Pearson Bowen, and I am honored to stand before you as a candidate for the Executive Committee woman. If elected to serve, I am committed to ensuring that our voices are heard. I want to be a unifying voice. I want to be able to make sure that we are getting open and transparent communication between the county party and the state party, as well as between the county party and all of you. I know that part is so important. And so I pray that you guys will think enough of me to give me the honor to serve in that position. And I feel like I might be out of time, so go Dems.
Thank you very much. Constance Funderburk, would you like to take a minute, literally, to talk about your candidacy?
Good morning again. It's kind of difficult to follow up from that, but I will let you know that as a constituent, I would work hard to follow the process, learn how to communicate, have open engagement with our elected officials, with the Democratic Party leadership, so that we can have our voices heard and we can push forward in this uphill battle we have. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final candidate is our incumbent committeewoman, Darylene Mansfield.
Good morning, or it might be afternoon now. At this time, I withdraw my nomination for Executive Committee Woman. I've served 7 years, and I think I would like to turn it over to someone else. I've learned a lot, enjoyed representing the county at the state level, but somebody else can take the reins at this time.
In that case, I'm going to, as a matter of personal privilege, Darylene and I have served together on the committee for 7 years. We have been a good team. She has done a tremendous amount of organizational work for the county party. She's been involved in state party operations as well, so you already gave her an ovation, but I want to officially thank her, and I've enjoyed serving with you. In that case, we have 2 candidates, Amber Pearson Bowen and Constance Funderburk. Those in favor of Amber Pearson Bowen as Executive Committee Woman, raise your hands. And those in favor of Constance Funderburk. It appears that Amber Pearson Bowen has been elected. Congratulations. Now, if anyone wants to call for an actual vote count, you have the right to do so. But it appeared to me that there were significantly more votes for Ms. Bowen. Alternate committee woman, 4 people filed, one of whom just got elected committee woman. Is Denise Casey here? Ms. Casey, come on up. You have 1 minute to promote your candidacy.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Denise Casey. I'm a 30-year resident of York County. I currently live in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Last year I ran for school board and I learned a lot about the political process. And so I'm back. I made a commitment last year that I would not stop, and I want to start with the Democratic Party. So I filed for an alternate to be able to be of service to York County and continue to use my voice to benefit the Democrats in this area. So I would definitely appreciate your vote today. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Thunderberg, do you want another minute? No. Okay. The third candidate is Monica White.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am a proud resident of York County, South Carolina, and I have been here since December of 2020. I originally lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I was born here in York County, South Carolina. I have worked with several political candidates in their tenure for running for their offices. I have worked as an election worker in Mecklenburg County for multiple years. I worked as an election worker here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I was a poll manager when I originally started. I am now poll clerk. So I have too learned a lot about the political processes. I am the daughter of Karen Bryce and Leroy Irvin, who led a march here in York County. So I think that I have the outstanding duty of being in the political party, and this is why I am running for this office. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there are 3 candidates. Those in favor of Denise Casey, raise your hands. Those in favor of Constance Thunderberg. Those in favor of Monica White. It appears that, does anybody want an actual vote count? It appears to me that Ms. White has been elected.
No,
we need a vote? I'm sorry?
I move for division of the House and an account.
Mr. Bradford moves for a division of the House and a count, so people move around to...
Tell us how that's going to work.
I think you as the chairman need to decide how it's going to work, but we need an actual count. So I think everybody voting for one candidate will stand, be counted, then the next one will be counted, then the third will be counted.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking you to explain because I didn't know. Hey, I'm a political scientist, but I don't know everything. I ran and lost. Okay, we will please stand or otherwise indicate your preference. Denise Casey. Those in favor of Constance Thunderberg, please stand. You ready? Okay, and those in favor of Monica White, please stand. Okay, clearly I need to get my glasses checked. Denise Casey received 48 votes, Monica White received 37 votes, and Constance Funderburk received 33 votes. Ms. Casey, congratulations on your election. And we also have a county party secretary and treasurer. Those are elected by the county executive committee, which will meet within a month to do that. Speaking of the county executive committee, we now turn to the election of members of the executive committee from each precinct. So you're going to caucus with your neighbors. You're going to need to move around a little bit. So each precinct elects one person, regardless of race or gender, to serve on the county executive committee. We are the governing board of the county. Let me, I think I've got the job description. I don't see the printed description, but I've been the committeeman from Ogden for off and on for 30 years, so I think I can figure it out. So the executive committee is the governing body of the county party. Your precinct is considered organized if you have an executive committee member from your precinct. Not all of the precincts in York County are represented. We now have 100 precincts, which is mind-boggling for those who've been doing this for a while. So you attend a quarterly meeting. If you are the only person here from your precinct, welcome to the executive committee. That's what you get for showing up at a meeting. We make you do stuff. So the executive committee meets once a quarter. We are the governing body. We make decisions. The board, the officers who were just elected, we are members of the executive committee, and we kind of set things on a day-to-day basis, but you, the executive committee, are the actual governing board. So you get to be involved. You have a voice in deciding what the party does, and I would encourage you, if you're interested in serving, to serve, unless you've just elected yourself. Ms. Casana.
Can we actually find out if that's true?
What's true?
What is the only person from what precinct here?
It's by default.
No, what I'm saying is there could be other precinct. We're going to group together. We haven't broke off yet.
Yeah, we're about to do that. So
As outlined, and I promise you, everything that you guys have going on in your head, we will address it. But let's just get through the agenda, please.
Ms. Bradford.
Let's say we have an executive committee member. Precinct, does it still organize the officers in the precinct?
Yeah.
If that's done.
There's no longer a formal rule requiring precinct president, etc. But a precinct, if there is more than one person here, you may organize, elect precinct president, vice president, etc. So that's above and beyond what the rules now require, but you can absolutely do that.
Further on, if, let's say, the executive committee person cannot attend,
You can elect an alternate. Okay, we are. Okay, the candidates. We do have candidates. Come on in, candidates. This is Gavin Wilson. He is running against Ralph Norman. and you have 1 minute to introduce yourself and make your case.
Well, I guess I'll start with this. It's Gavin Harris, but you know, it's all good. Gavin Wilson. That sounds like a president too, so I'll take it. No, you're fine. You're fine. You know, just a little bit about myself. I grew up in York County. My father was from a small town called Lugoff, South Carolina. My mother was from an even smaller town called Bethune, South Carolina. And you know, they grew up in a place where you know you could have black friends and white friends, but white doves with white doves and blackbirds with blackbirds, as they said. So they came to York County for a more progressive future in life. Things didn't work out for them. My mother moved back to Bethune. My father raised us by himself here in York County. My grandfather owned the Bethune Country Club, so they were kind of like redneck socialites. So I kind of... But because of the urban and rural divide that I grew up in, because of the urban and rural divide that I grew up in, seeing what they call the corridor of shame, and just seeing the pain that this state has been in because of poor leadership, I think it would serve District 5 to have someone who knows them, who sees them, who understands them, who grew up in a world where, you know, I had the Republican uncles and aunts and neighbors, and I had the Democratic aunts and uncles, and I just got to grow up and see a great collective. And the reality is this: we watch the news, we pay attention to the big picture, but the power is here and the change is here. It doesn't come from the big power structures that be, it's from you guys. Change has never come from the top, it's always from the bottom up. Whether it's abolitionists, civil rights movement, it's you people. And if I can, just real quick, I want to just close off on this. We've gotten to a place in this country where the billionaires and the elite and the power structures that be have gotten so powerful that it's like the common man doesn't even exist anymore. And I don't know if you know this, but from the time you're born, if all you did was count, you didn't eat, you didn't sleep, you didn't drink, all you did was count from the time you were born, you would be 32 years old by the time you reached a billion. 32 years old. And we have corporations and entities that make billions of dollars in profit, hundreds of billions of dollars in profit, but yet they can't pay you $15 an hour. They can't provide your Social Security. They have complications with your Medicaid. And to me, I'm sorry, that's just evil. It's just wrong. It's not right. And the richest country on the planet of the earth, with all the problems we have, they keep telling you no, and people like me, I want to tell you yes. We can be involved, we can get together, we can mobilize, and we can do a lot of great things. And the only thing that's stopping us is our own willpower. So I'm excited, I'm motivated, and I think I have a lot to offer for you guys, so I appreciate it. Thanks.
And we have a candidate for third vice chair of the State Democratic Party. This election will be decided at the state convention. We'll talk about the state convention towards the end. So you have 1 minute or so to introduce yourself and make your case.
Good morning, York County. I hope everybody's doing fine. And to our convention officers and whatever make up this great convention, my name is Ralph Prelu. I came all the way from Berkeley County, which is 2 hours away, to be with you at your great convention. I am running for the third vice chair. A little bit of a brief background about me. I was born and raised in the St. Stephen, South Carolina, which is a rural area on the northern part of Berkeley County. I graduated from USC with a BA in political science. I need my time back. I got my JD degree from Charleston School of Law in 2017, and since that time, I've been the Assistant Dean of Academic Administration at the Charleston School of Law. I am also the current chair of the Berkeley County Democratic Party. My platform is simple. I am running to be your next third vice chair for the South Carolina Democratic Party for one reason and one reason only. We need to bring our young voters back to our Democratic Party. I will adhere to the time of the chair, which means I will not be able to get into all of my platform. But I will tell you this. I'm asking on May 31st that you remember me. Because when you remember me and we go to the fairgrounds and we vote for this third vice chair and first and second vice, if you remember me, the losing stops now. I will make sure that we will do what we're supposed to do at the state party to make sure that we are winning elections, putting people not only in York County but across the state to run good campaigns to make sure that they are being good Democrats to you and everybody else. And I will make sure that in Columbia, we will win. So on May 31st, please remember Ralph Fraley Jr., third vice chair of South Carolina Democratic Party.
Thank you. And Vice Chair Ryan Stevens will be speaking on behalf of candidate Michael Layer, who is unable to be with us today.
Good afternoon, or it's still morning. I'm speaking on behalf of my good friend Michael Layer, who is also running for the third vice chair of the state party. Michael has over 5 years of experience working for the Democratic Party in South Carolina. He was the former second vice chair of the Young Democrats of South Carolina. He worked on a campaign that was the only state house district to flip in 2022. That was Heather Bauer. Michael Layer is running to strengthen our Democratic Party in South Carolina. He wants to use his position an organizer for the state to create a certification program to help our county parties and Democratic organizer use existing technology to target voters better. Michael wants Democrats knocking on doors and making phone calls every year. And Michael wants to encourage more young Democrats to join our party. So every county in the state will have an internship or fellowship to do that. So I urge you all to listen to Michael should you come down to the state convention in May.
Thank you.
I am. My name is Alex Harper, and I'm also considering running against Ralph Norman. I am from here. I grew up in Fort Mill whenever back there was nothing but trees. I am a prosecutor for the county. I prosecute sex crimes and crimes against children. Like Representative King said, I think it's time to bring Ralph Norman home. Ralph Norman is the 18th richest member of Congress and the second most extreme Republican that we have. And I'm sorry, but that does not represent our district at all. I'm proud to be from here, and I am proud to know I don't know all of you, but I'm proud to know our constituency, and I'm proud of everybody and everything that everyone's done. And I'm so proud also that Gavin is also considering running. The fact that we have 2 people looking to run against Ralph Norman and everybody else trying to run for other offices lets us know that we are fed up and it's time for change. It is time for Democrats to be elected in York County. It is time for Democrats to be elected in South Carolina and to stop the extremism that we're seeing all over the country. I'm so inspired to see all of you here. I hope to talk to more of you as we get these campaigns kicked off and you get to learn more about us. But again, I'm so inspired by all of you here. I'm so inspired by all the candidates that are running, and I look forward to meeting all of you.
Thank you. And Gavin, I'm going to apologize again for getting your name wrong. A Democratic candidate named Harris, you'd think I'd remember that. Okay, we are now going to split into precincts for the precinct organization and election of executive committee members. Each precinct has a packet. If you are from the precincts, as we call them out in alphabetical order, somebody please come up and get your packet. Starting with Adna precinct, you voted Adna Church. Airport precinct, Newkirk Baptist Church.
If you raise your hand, we'll bring them to you also.
Allison Creek Presbyterian Church. Anderson Road, votes at the Baxter Hood Center at York Tech. We did have a filing period for precinct executive committee people, and there were 9 people who filed as candidates from their precincts, and what we're going to do is take a voice vote to ratify that slate. Tara Whiteley from Fort Mill 5, Don Williams-Zabicki from Springfield, John Holder from Ogden, Amber Pearson Bowen from Doby's Bridge, Ryan Stevens from Rosewood, Lacey Lane from Fort Mill 2, Evelyn Burris from Filbert, Brandon Upson from Gold Hill, and Nate Knight from University. I will entertain a motion to approve that slate for the people who filed. And there is a second. Those in favor, raise your hands. Those opposed? Okay. So those people are automatically executive committee members. Did we overlook any precincts? I was reading in alphabetical order.
So while they're taking care of that, they're taking care of the issue with the precinct, we're going to go ahead and once John comes back, you're going to break up into your precinct. So hold your precinct package up so that you can break up. And that's your time to talk amongst yourself and elect your precinct president and vice president.
Go play with your neighbors.
Yes. And so during this time, this is the time that you can organize and talk about what you would like to see happening in your precinct. Because you're going to be responsible for the information that is disseminated to Democrats in your precinct. You're taking on a fine task so that you can be responsible for getting information out about what's going on in the party.
Hold it up. Let's do a second call.
What you're doing now is you're getting we're seeing who is going to be your precinct president. What that means is that's going to be the person who received information for you to disseminate to other Democrats in your precinct who vote at the same location that you do. That's going to help the York County Democratic Party because that's going to be an easier way to get information out. We need to have our precincts organized so that we can be able to get information out to other Democrats. Because what we've heard in the past was, we don't know what's going on. We don't know anything. Well, guess what? That's why we're here now, getting you to sign up to be a precinct president so that we know who the point of contact person is, so that we can get the information to you so that you can help spread the word. In addition to the mail out, the newsletter that we have, in addition to the Facebook, we can't always agree on the Facebook situation, but having precinct president would be the best way to get information out to other Democrats in the area that you live in. We have 100 precincts. That's a lot of people to try for the executive board to try to get information out to. So you're the outstretched arm to the executive board to get information out. And by you signing your name on that paper, we're going to have someone that we can call and say, hey, this is what's going on in your area. Can you help spread the word? Okay? Thank you.
There's been some confusion because the form mentions the precinct president and the executive committee person in separate places. We used to have separate positions for executive committee member and precinct president, vice president, etc. The state party decided to get rid of the official precinct positions other than executive committee person and alternate. But if you are the executive committee member, you can also be the precinct president if your precinct chooses to organize that way. Okay, we're now going to proceed with the election of delegates to the state convention. Again, that's May 31st in Columbia. York County is allowed 98 delegates and 20 alternates divided by gender. We have fewer than 49 men who signed up, fewer than 49 women who signed up. So if you are elected if you're interested in being a delegate to the state convention, you can still sign up. We have more than 49 women who signed up, so some of you are going to be among the 20 alternates. We'll work that out. We still need men to sign up. Okay, this will be very quick. The chair moves that we adopt as our slate of delegates to the state convention the people who signed up. There is a second. Those in favor of electing the people on the sign-up sheet as delegates to the state convention say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it unanimously. Thank you. If you signed up, you're going to state convention. And the state party will send you the necessary information. Okay. Adoption of resolutions. The county conventions, they adopt resolutions if so desired. Resolutions must be in writing and use the resolutions form provided. All approved resolutions will be forwarded to the State Party Platform and Resolutions Committee. Does anyone have any resolutions to present to the gathering? Ms. Casada is introducing a resolution.
All right. Hi. My name is Carmen Quesada Varilla. I have been in South Carolina now, although some days it's hard for me to believe it's true, for 17 years. I'm sure you can tell from my accent that I wasn't born here, although my husband loves to say we're actually from the South Bronx in New York City. I'm excited about the number of new people that are in here. I'm excited by the number of young people that I see in here. And I also have to tell you that I'm worried. Okay? And here's why I'm worried. The definition of insanity is doing the same things, doing things the same way, and thinking you're going to get different results. Okay? I celebrated my 80th birthday last December. So obviously I've seen a lot of elections. And like the young woman who talked about coming from a split household, I too was raised in a split household. The other way around in my case. My father was a Democrat, my mother was a Republican. They were both what was then called the precinct captain. And do you know what the job of the precinct captain was? It was to walk the precinct. So, from the time that I was 10 years old, I walked the precinct twice. I walked it once for my mother, or with my mother, to organize the Republicans, and I walked it once with my dad, to organize the Democrats. My parents voted for the same person only once in their entire lives. They were married for over 40 years. And that person was Governor Nelson Rockefeller. And the only reason they voted for him was because in New York, you could run on one of four parties, and you could actually vote on two of the four. One was Democrat, one was Republican, one was conservative, and one was liberal. My father voted for Nelson Rockefeller on the liberal ticket. My mother voted for Nelson Rockefeller on the Republican ticket. Okay? So, why am I telling you this? We are only going to start winning elections once, when we had what we had in the 50s and 60s. A strong precinct infrastructure. So for those of you that you agreed to be the executive, what is it called? The executive committee member on the, I guess on the board of the York County Democratic Party, thank you. See, that is the one thing you forget at 80. Your first and absolutely most important job is to organize that precinct. Okay? Find other people to help you, because if you are like the young lady who is now, blessed her, agreeing to be the River Hills one, she has 1,100 homes to organize. Do you honestly think she can do it by herself? She can't walk 1,100, oh, she can, I have. Mary Ann and I have, but it's not easy, okay? That's your first job, okay? You've got to get information out, as the chair mentioned, but the best way to get information out is face-to-face. It's not an email, it's not something in your mailbox. I've done all of those, okay? They're going to listen to you because you are their neighbor. And the more you can get that structure down to the neighbor, to the block, or at least if you're in a subdivision, a quadrant of that subdivision, the more likely they are to talk to it. Okay. And we've got to change the conversation. Jay said to us the most important thing he could have said to us this morning. We are not going to start winning elections in South Carolina and unfortunately now in the United States until we change the conversation. And the conversation has got to be held neighbor to neighbor. So, my resolution is, okay, that we spend the next year organizing our precinct infrastructure, which means people in every single precinct. Nikita told me this morning or this afternoon or a little while ago, there are 30 precincts in which there's nobody here represented at all. And in most cases, you're probably the only one, okay? You can't do it by yourself, right? So that's my resolution. My resolution is, be it resolved that we spend the next year building that infrastructure, which means, how many of you have organized? Yeah, look at yourselves, okay? I'm surprised that most of you don't look like me, but okay. So that means that one of the things we've got to give you is help you learn how to organize, okay? And you organize by developing face-to-face relationships, person-to-person relationships. I can talk to somebody I know about, why did you vote the way you voted last time? I can't ask that question of somebody I don't know. And until we get some answers to those questions, guys, we're not going to get there, right? This is one of the wealthiest counties in this state. Do you know what the median income is in this county? Anybody want to take a guess? Say it, you were real. 80. 73% white. Median home value is $250,000. So tell me, we are how many miles away from the border? I don't mean the border of North Carolina. I meant the border to Mexico. So somebody explain to me why we have a migrant problem. Right? So until we find out, who did you, it doesn't have to be who you voted for. It has to be, why did you vote the way you voted? And now, given what's happened, are you happy you did that? That conversation has to be held. And it has to be held in every single community. That's what Jay told you this morning. Figure out how we're going to do that. And by the way, I never opened my mouth without providing some help. So I have been organizing for more years than I care to remember. I have organized more races than I care to remember, and so I'm willing to help. And I have to tell you, my husband and I came this close to leaving this country. The only reason we're here is my only niece and daughter of my late sister, who was killed by a drunk driver, was diagnosed 6 months ago with a virulent, aggressive, rare form of cancer, and she's got 36 months to live. And I was going to stay here for every one of those 36 months. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. I almost didn't come. I know I don't belong to any organized party. I'm a Democrat. But we better get organized. So that's my resolution.
So, Ms. Mr. Sada moves that we spend the next year actively precinct organizing. Is that a one-sentence summation? Those in favor? Let's do that on voice, because I want to hear y'all yell. Those in favor? Those opposed should leave the room. The resolution passes. Mr. Bradford has offered a resolution. Do not refer to us as the Democrat Party at national, state, and local levels. It's the Democratic Party. And don't let others do so without correcting them. Suggest they don't want us to call, they don't want to be called the Republic Party. So that is a resolution from Mr. Bradford. Those in favor? Those opposed? Okay. The resolution passes. That is our last item of official business. Are there any other candidates or elected officials in the room? We'll give you a second. Okay, many of you know Dr. Dave Priddy, who retired last year from Winthrop. He's been a delegate to several of these conventions. His house burned down last week, a total loss, including his dog and his cat. And he was in the process of moving out of the area now that he's retired from Winthrop. He has a house in Ohio that he's going to be moving into, but he has virtually no possessions left. So there is a GoFundMe, which is available on our Facebook page, organized by some of his colleagues and friends at Winthrop, and whatever you can do for that would be wonderful. Any announcements for the good of the order? Madam Chair, I return the gun.
Y'all, this has been a wonderful day. We have had a damn good of a time. I want to thank everyone that came out today. I promise you, you're going to see more things coming from the York County Democratic Party. Look for our newsletter if you're not on Facebook, or if you're on Facebook, like our Facebook page. We have everybody's contact telephone number, so when we start inundating y'all with emails and phone calls, don't say, they're getting on my nerves, but that's how we're going to be able to get information out. I also want to let everyone know that our headquarters, we are one of 10 Democratic Party that has an official headquarters, 10 out of 46 counties, and we have an office that I can come to. We have volunteers at the office on Wednesdays from 12 until 4 p.m. and on Fridays from 12 until 4 p.m. But guess what? That office can be open every single day if we have volunteers to come in and agree to just sit in, to take down information from people when they come in, to help us know what the concerns that our Democratic neighbors are having so that we can work towards addressing those. So if you want to come into the office and have some office hours, please see that lady in the back waving her hand like she just don't care. That is Eileen Message. Eileen has been in the office since July 21st. And when I tell you, if she pick up the phone and call me and say, Nikita, I need you to get over here, I am there lickety split moment. So with that being said, we do need volunteers. We need volunteers to help with everything that Carmen has said. But coming to the office and having office hours so that we can be better organized than what we are. At this time, I think we're adjourned.